G'day guys, AJ here. I want to talk about the problem with our suburbs. We have quite a few problems with our ecosystem, even here in the suburbs. I live particularly in the northern beaches, and there are a lot of problems with foxes, with both your feral cats and your pet cats. There isn't that much problems with the wild rabbits, but you see them around, and they are a pest. They haven't had any pest impact that I've seen, but I'm sure they do. And out in the in the outback and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's even worse because that's where they've got the wild pigs and more cane toads and even more invasive species. We've got a lot of invasive birds as well, like the Indian myna. They do a bit of damage. Your local sparrow that you'll see in the shopping centres and stuff. They're actually an endangered species, not endangered species. They're an invasive species, just as cute as they are. And even our noisy Australian myna, they actually do more damage to the ecosystem than the Indian myna. So even our native animals are making a problem. I know that out in the outback, the kangaroos have way too many numbers. And there is one big way to solve it, and that is the dingo. It may sound kind of cruel, but we need to thin out those numbers, and dingoes are the ones who know how to do that. These guys are smart. They know how to balance that ecosystem. They've been here for way longer than us, white invaders have. Us invaders, we came like 200, maybe 300 years ago. These guys have been in Australia for 30,000 years. Some people say it's 5,000, some people even say 10,000, but it's actually 30,000. If you want to find out more about that, I'll link in the description or something the video that I explain that and show you guys the proof. But yeah, these guys are awesome and they are important. A lot of people may think of these guys as these savage killers, or like baby stealers, takers. Here in the suburbs, we don't have that as much controversy about them. They have a bit of a better reputation, as far as I know, here, as far as I can see. There's not many people as passionate as me out here, but there's no one who I've met out here who's like, no, we need to kill them. They're a pest or whatever. Because these things are not wild dogs. They belong here way more than us, humans do. The Aboriginal people who are humans, they belong here. But other than those, you know what I'm talking about. The invaders. These guys belong here way more than we do. I'm not saying that they should kill us, but it makes sense for their, just on instincts and environment stuff alone, it makes sense that they'll want to thin out our numbers. Because to them, we're just like any other, animal. They're just like any other species. So that's why sometimes these guys will start to hurt us. That's not the big reason why. The main reason why is because we will feed them, and we'll do the wrong thing, and then they will take that as a different sign. Like, either they'll look at us as like something to play with, and then they'll play too rough with us, you know, they'll bite us, and for them that's just playing, or they'll, when the food stops that we give them, when that stops, they'll then, you know, try and get their own food, which are babies, which is, you know, it's our fault, it's not their fault, okay? But anyway, I've got an idea that can solve all of this, if it works. I don't know if this is going to work, because I'm not a scientist or anything, so please send it to people who will know this sort of stuff and who will know if this will work. But from what I know, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. It would take a lot of effort, a lot of work, and time, and probably money. Yeah, definitely money. But I think it would definitely be worth it. So my idea is to put the dingo in the suburbs. It may sound stupid, because I just talked about how they can get a little bit, they can sometimes kill humans. But if we do our job right, then it won't be a problem, and these guys will really balance out that ecosystem and make it so much better. Just in the farms, they've done like tests on looking at where there are dingoes and where there aren't dingoes, and the ecosystem is so much better. Even if the farms do get like a couple cows thinned off, it is so much worth it. But I have an idea that can even make us not worry about them attacking us or our pets, or, you know, the animals that we don't want them to attack. A good while back, I saw a documentary. I don't remember that much about it. I don't even remember what the animal was. You know, it was some sort of small marsupial that would eat small things like frogs and stuff. So the problem was that a lot of them were getting, they were endangered because one of the big reasons was the cane toad. Cane toads are poisonous, which means that you can't eat them. But what they would do is they put tiny little samples of the cane toad in their food. Not enough to do any detrimental damage or to kill them or anything like that, just enough to deter them from the meat and understand this is bad, this is not good to eat. So after that, they then, you know, wouldn't eat the meat, and therefore would connect that with the toads themselves and, you know, not try and hunt them and eat them. So if we could do something along those lines with our pets, you know, show the dingoes that our domesticated animals, like our dogs, especially puppies, our guinea pigs, our rabbits. I mean, one of the ways that I got, one of the ways I noticed about how big of a problem these foxes and stuff and feral cats were, was because of how they were killing off and my guinea pigs, and they were going missing. But, you know, I'm not the only ones. A lot of people have their chickens killed by these guys, and yeah, they are a big problem. So if we could, you know, deter them from the meat, and the idea of hunting our domesticated animals, the same way that those people in the documentary did with the cane toad. If I can find that video, I'll put in the link description below, but I highly doubt that I'll be able to find it, because there's other videos that I've wanted to find that I haven't been able to. But, you know, I'll give it a try. If you guys find it, please do comment and tell me. But yeah, this is my idea. I know that you guys are probably thinking, but the feral cats are very similar to our pet cats, and yeah, I'm sure that some of the cats that made my guinea pigs go missing were pet cats. And that would reinforce the thing that a lot of people really need to do, which is have their cats inside. It's not only good for our environment, but it's also good for the cats if you guys do this. Not just if we introduce the dingoes to our environment, but just normally when you let your cats out at night. Like, just me in the suburbs, the most missing posters I see is cats. I hardly see any dog ones. It's mainly cats. And, that won't happen, or at least hardly as much, if we keep our cats inside. I know that they do need that outlet, but us as humans need to provide that outlet with our toys and stuff, rather than just letting them outside and letting them go crazy on our ecosystem, because that is not responsible, that is not solving our problem in the slightest. That is, that is not good, that is not worth it, that is not responsible of us. We need to do better. So yeah, this is my idea. It would take a lot of work and a lot of time, like I said. We would also need education on the dingoes, so that people know how to treat these guys, know the difference between a dingo and your normal domesticated dog. I'd also just recommend keeping your dog on a leash, or at least with a collar. That would be an easy way to tell the difference between your dogs. But I can tell the difference between these guys and others, and like, that's even when they are pets, because dingoes can be pets. And the other way you could do it is just do domesticated, I guess tamed dingoes is what you'd really call it, which are brought up in captivity. They'll have mums and dads that are from sort of like a domesticated life, They'll be, the mums and dads will know the humans, and then they'll have puppies that are also handled a lot and then get used to humans very well. This could backfire, it could make people be too friendly with them and then feed them. And there'd be no point if we were feeding them. One of the big problems of why we would feed them, even if one of the big problems of why we feed them is because the dingoes that aren't alpine dingoes, your normal forest ones, and the ones that live on that island that are, killing people sometimes. Again, it's our fault, not them. Don't feed the dingoes, but the reason why people do is because they see their bony, ribbed, skinny bodies and think that they're starving. But dingoes, at least those dingoes, are a lot like your greyhounds and ones like that, where it's really healthy for you to see their rib cage and all that. It's good. It means that they're a healthy dog. If you didn't see that, they would be overweight unless they were an alpine dingo. Alpine dingoes are basically the more fluffy ones. I'll try and show a picture up here of the difference. But yeah. So we would need a lot of education on the dingoes probably. Even if we did have ones that were tamer and more used to humans and wouldn't hurt us, even if we did feed them and made mistakes. But I don't know exactly how it works to keep the dingoes wild in the way that they would still kill the foxes and stuff. I don't know if you would have to do particular training with them to get them used to hunting again, or if they could just instinctively get back to being used to it. But I'm sure there is a way, that's for sure. So this is my idea. Tell me in the comments down below if there's something wrong with this idea. If not, tell me in the comments then how I can promote this idea. And as far as I know, the only way that I know of is sharing this video like everywhere. You guys need to like, comment, subscribe, all that silly YouTube stuff that everyone says at the end of a video. You can also go to my other channel, Annikaugh's Aussie Adventures. I might change that because it's a bit of a mouthful. I might change the name of that, but I'll put a link to that in the description down below. And like, it should come up anyway. Hopefully, it hasn't got that many subscribers, but that one has got more of my animal wildlife stuff on it. So if you guys can go over and check out that channel, that'd be great. That's where I have the video about how these guys are 30,000 years old. So yeah, share this idea, this theory, whatever you want to call it. I probably should come up with a name for it. You know, come up with your ideas for a name, for a hashtag or something down below, and hopefully this will work and we'll get it out. It would be awesome to have dingoes as our more, you know, popular, more common wild animal out here, even in the suburbs where I live. Yeah, and I was about to say wild dog, but these guys aren't dogs. They are just their own separate species of canine. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I rant about one of my special interests. Or you can see me on my other channel where I talk about the wild. See you guys.